What is up, guys, and welcome back to the vlog. So yes, it is time that we start working on this turbo kit, and the first things first is we need to start making room for it to get this turbo manifold on, so we know where the turbo is going to sit. We have to be able to see if I can put it up or if I have to put it on the down, like on the bottom mount, and then once that's kind of mounted, then we can start mounting our intercooler piping to see where that's going to sit, and then we can start with all the nitty-gritty stuff. So first things first, let's get all this useless stuff out of the way. First step, we get this out of the way, which is not really held on by much. Just have some. I don't have my actual cutter, so this is gonna be kind of a funny little snidbit right here. Oh, jeez. So I believe this is an emissions component. I'm not exactly sure what kind of emissions it really does, but all I know is we don't need it anymore, and if we don't need it, it's gone. So I'm just gonna try to get this hose off. I'm gonna try not to break too much of this stuff. So like, I don't want to get rid of this. It wasn't even plugged in, so who knows what this was actually doing. If somebody knows what exactly this does other than maybe make some exhaust noises, please let me know in the comments. And we got to get rid of our washer fluid reservoir. It just has a little screw on this back side. It's like a screw clip. But first I guess we got to take this out of the way. Or maybe not. And then we got two plugs coming off of it. We're gonna unplug both of them, and I think in return we might end up turning this into a tire sprayer in the trunk, but we'll kind of see how that ended up working out. Got three stuff on it, actually. But boom, that is now done and out of the way. Up next, we got this little bad boy. This is also part of that breather system thing I was telling you about. Just two little 10mm bolts, and I'm hoping these don't snap on me. Oh, they were nice. That's nice. The easier this goes for me, the more excited I will be, because I got tired of fighting with those control arms, that's for sure. One side the stud came out, on the other side the bolt just came out, which that's fine. I'll just thread this back together like this. And now we won't lose this hardware, and we could save this for something else. So up next is going to be getting the manifold off, and of course it's a size 11 bolt, and the only 11 socket that I have in my Husky kit is a 1/4 inch. So the first 4 bolts have been easy so far, but there's a lot left after these ones, so I don't know how well this is going to go. So if you guys don't want to deal with this, make sure you have a size 11 socket to get these bolts off. So there's a change in location. I'm at my uncle's house. Just got here, so I'm gonna let the manifold cool down for a second, finish the rest of those bolts. I got air tools here, and then we'll get this front bumper popped off, start letting the intercooler piping figure its way out, and get the turbo mounted up, hopefully.
Yes, I'm dancing all night.
So we got the front bumper off. It's just these 4 bolts behind the trim piece that just hold right here onto the start of the frame. Had to get these ducts off, which they're super awesome if I didn't have to put an intercooler in here. So just kind of sizing up where the intercooler is supposed to sit. So it's supposed to sit right here in the middle, just kind of like this. And a good way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to be able to, mount a bar from here to here, and then bolt them too, because there's 2 bolts on the top. Bolt it right here in the middle. That'll give room for the fan, so then that's not an issue. And then we can start mounting some intercooler piping in. Okay, so I got the car jacked up right now, and I was looking. So this side, I have to get rid of my horns in order to do my intercooler piping, because I believe it's going to come right through there into my intake. On this side, unfortunately, the AC, part of the AC system is in the way. So we have the air conditioning compressor down there, and this is like the canister reach. I don't know what this is considered, but excuse these wiring that's around it. So this down here, you got your plug, your like hot side, low side, or whatever. So fortunately, I'm gonna have to remove this in order to get my intercooler piping up in there. So I think that might be the next step, but I want to work on the rest of these. Can't even see them. The rest of these manifold bolts before I yoink my AC out. And it does suck because it does work and it actually gets really cold, and it's just kind of a plus about driving this car, but that's all right. I want to make it a full drift car, and that's one of the big first steps for it. So let's get into it. If you can get this stupid secondary air thing off of the manifold first, it's going to make your whole life easier, just so you're aware. So I got these manifolds removed. Tried to install the new one, top mount style, but with the AC lines here, it does not fit upright. So I just have to get these removed, and then we'll try it again for the top mount. If not, I guess we're going bottom mount. All right, guys, so we are back, and it's day 3. It is time to figure out how to mount my intercooler and to see if I can keep this compressor line, because I was watching some videos, and some people route it, I don't know, I think it's like down underneath the steering rod or steering rack and then come up and in, because I'm gonna go bottom mount turbo just to keep it easy, keep it out of the way, keep it simple. So I'm gonna try to route intercooler over, down, and like over, get into the intercooler, and then bring it down, up and over, and then into the intercooler or the turbo. So I'm gonna just kind of start with that and see what's going on. I forgot my tripod, so I'm just gonna try to film as much as you can, but let's get a dang turbo on this thing. Okay, exhaust manifold fully mounted. And do the turbo. I'm gonna loosen these outer bolts so I can clock this housing. Get that not fully tightened down, but mounted with the gasket and everything, just to see where it sits down in there. And then I'm going to start working on this intercooler piping, so then I can start building my bracket for this cross member to put my intercooler on. Okay, so turbo is mounted. 2 issues. First issue, there's no spot, no room for the wastegate to go up anywhere. There's no room for it. This whole frame rail's in the way. Second issue, there's no room for the intercooler piping if I turn it upright. It has to come down, and this is, I figured, the best angle to where I can cut this tube, and I'll cut it back to like here and shoot it straight down that way to have clearance for all the suspension. But I don't know if like this chassis is different than like what this kit's supposed to be like capable for, but I'm running into way more issues than anybody online had. Okay guys, this is where we are at. I removed all the AC lines. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to mount all this stuff. Removed the AC like filter, so now I've got room to go up through there. So my wastegate is gonna have to get welded into it right there, because if we go down below, you will see that you have no clearance for any of that. And I figured out that my turbo is gonna have to get clocked, and I might have to cut some of the compressor wheel side off. It's gonna have to get clocked to where it can come up underneath the manifold right here, come through, down, and over into the intercooler. So that's where it's gonna have to go. So I'm gonna have to take this manifold back off, figure out how to get the space for the turbo to get up in there, figure out like what I'm dealing with. But just know, if you guys are picking up a turbo kit from Max Speeding Rods, you're gonna run into these issues, which I was ready for. I knew it was happening, but I didn't want to admit yet. And now we are in the bulk of it. But with the turbo and the manifold mocked up, this is the rest of our parts. Not those are horns. We got blow off valve, downpipe, wastegate, air intake, boost controller. There's one more thing. I don't remember what this was. Oh, yep. Oil and return and feed line, which I know I have an idea where I'm doing that. And intercooler piping. That's not a lot of parts. It's just trying to get everything to find its home. So I hope you guys liked the first start of this video, and just know it's going to be a rough couple weeks for me to figure out the rest of this process. But I want to get you guys a video and show you guys that I am doing it. I'm trying, and we're just trying to learn, man. But so far so good. Just slow, steady, and learning, that's for sure, for what we got and the tools. Oh, we got all the tools. It's not for the parts we got and for the learning that we need. So that note, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for next week, and let's continue this turbo build. Peace.